Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Happy Tuesday. We have a lot, so much that is happening today on this fine Tuesday. I mean, a lot. First and foremost, I'm going to wait for people to pop on before I really start doing anything because I left my mic at my dad's house and I can't find my wireless mic, which I also think is at my dad's house. So, and I don't have my connector, so it's a bit of a, hope the iPhone mic is as strong as it claims to be. So anyways, and of course, the minute I hit play, my nose starts running. So, all the fine things this morning. So I'm going to wait for a few people to come on. I found the Rebel deck. I did. I love this deck. It is so sassy, snarky, and sweary. It is like, wow. And mean. It can be mean. So let me know if you can hear me, okay? Let me know if you can hear me. All right, one more shuffle, and then, because we got a lot to cover today. And I mean a lot. Today is a Tuesday that is like going for gold so early in the year. I mean, we know, and here in the United States, it's Black History Month. It's also Heart Health Month, which, by the way, I completely forgot to talk about, which is terrible because, I do support good old heart health and more. So let's see. All right, so let me know. I know I see a couple people on. So can you hear me? Please answer if you can hear me. But anyways, take a shot. Don't take 12, take 1, okay, maybe 2, then move on. Laugh. Where the fuck is your sense of humor? Sorry. Please stay. I know it's a little early for that, right? Take a fucking trip. Go see some shit, do some new things, talk to people cooler than you. Really, you should be supporting our coolness. Every individual is cool, okay? But talk to new people. So I'm so excited to be reunited with these cards. But as I said, we have quite the day. It is Mardi Gras. It is a solar eclipse. It is Lunar New Year, which brings in the year of the horse, the fire horse, I believe. And it's a, did I say solar eclipse? Yes. Oh, it's a new moon. There's a lot happening today. So we have Fat Tuesday, which is what Mardi Gras actually translates into. And we did a show last year, or the year before, I believe, on Mardi Gras. But yeah, so we got a lot of stuff to cover. So, first and foremost, Happy Lunar New Year. I even got my shirt on, little Karomi, holding a red envelope for prosperity. Oh no, sorry, it's a flag. I thought it was an envelope. From here. I know, she's just so cute. So, and it says Karomi. So anyways, Happy Lunar New Year, Year of the Horse. To start, I have travelchinaguide.com, and it's the top 10 facts that you should know about Chinese New Year. So, number 1, the festival date changes every year, which it does, okay? And it'll tell you why. This is because it follows the lunar calendar based on the movement of the moon. Usually it falls on a day between mid-January and mid-February, so basically January 21st through February 20th. In 2026, of course, it falls on today. So, number 2, it is also called the Spring Festival. The festival usually falls after the solar term, beginning of spring, Li Chun, and is a festival in the spring, hence the name. 3, Chinese New Year starts a new animal zodiac. And up until like the last, probably this decade, I always called it Chinese New Year. When did it change to Lunar New Year? Is that so it incorporates everybody? But I mean, here's the thing. China has a big influence on a lot of the Asian countries. So does Japan. And that doesn't mean they don't have their own influences, but we have such a, we've read so far back about the history of China and, I mean, like thousands of years. So, I'm not sure when that changed, but that probably should have been something I looked up, eh? But I didn't. So bear with me. But anyways, in China, each lunar cycle has 60 years, and 12 years is regarded as a small cycle. Each of the 12 years is defined by an animal sign. Rat, ox, tiger, and this is in order: rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, which is this year, sheep, monkey, rooster, dog, and pig. So, I think Sibling said she's a dog. I'm a rat. I'm a water rat. Seriously, the year of the rat is when COVID happened. So I really want a do-over. I want a do-over. Now the funny thing is one of my friends, I never knew this. I just knew about Lunar New Year, but about 20 some odd years ago, she was like, oh, you know, for one of my birthday presents, she bought me an ox. Okay. And then about 2 years later, no, maybe 3 years later, she started, her partner now, he's Chinese, and he's all, no, she's not an ox. And he looks at me, he's all, you're not an ox. And I'm all, what? And he's all, you were born in 1973, yes, but you were born before the Lunar New Year. So actually you're a rat. So for all of us babies who are born in January, if you were born before the Lunar New Year, so, you know, for all of you who may have just had a baby yesterday, okay, your baby is the year of the snake. And if you gave birth today, your baby is the year of the horse. So, and there's nothing wrong with a snake, right? Snakes are quiet and cunning, yes, but they're the quiet observers as well. But they also know, they also mean business, okay? So, all right, the pictures on here are so cute. I mean, even the rat looks cute. But you know, when I say I'm a water rat, I just like to think of Master Splinter teaching the Ninja Turtles. So there you go. Number 4. Wise Sensei. Number 4, the celebration lasts for 15 days till Lantern Festival. The peak time of the entire celebration is on Chinese New Year's Eve and the first day of the Lunar New Year. The 15th day is called Lantern Festival, marking the end of the celebration. Number 5, 1/6 of the world's people celebrate it. It is not only celebrated in mainland China, but also observed in Hong Kong, Taiwan, Vietnam, Singapore, and some other Asian countries, as well as Chinatowns around the world. In recent years, the celebrations in New York, London, Vancouver, Sydney, and other overseas cities have spread out of Chinatowns. Chinese New Year has become one of the world's most celebrated festivals. You know, a couple years back, I brought Sibling down to Dodger Stadium, or up to, excuse me, Dodger Stadium, because they were having an exhibit, and they had some really cool Jackie Robinson stuff in there. As a Padre fan, they did have a, oh yeah, the Dodgers' best game, and it just turns out to be against my team, of course. But I'm like the redheaded stepchild in this state. But anyway, yeah, it was really neat because all of a sudden I hear these drums, right? And we looked down, so even though it was far, far away, because it was down, we were looking down into Chinatown. The main entrance to Dodger Stadium, you can actually see down, like from the parking lot, you can see down into Chinatown. And it was cool because, you know, we saw the dragon going through it. We pretty much watched the parade. It was from far away, yes, but it was fascinating and it was wonderful. And I'd love to do one of those. I'd love to do one in London. How fun would that be? But I think I see now why it's called Lunar New Year, because it is observed by many of the other Asian countries. They're being all inclusive now. So I believe some of the other Asian countries would be like maybe Thailand. I know the Philippines celebrate it, at least my Filipinos do. And I would assume they get that from their parents who actually came from the Philippines. My Filipino mother came from Hawaii. Second generation. So anyways, number 6, it is the longest public holiday and the whole country is on the move. Most employees have 7 to 12 days off of work. Students have 1 month winter vacation. Damn! The 2026 Chinese New Year holiday is from February 15th to February 23rd. So, yeah, so that makes sense because I think they're talking about like the New Year's Eve. So you're kind of rolling into it, right? No matter where they are, people try their best to return home for a family reunion, like Westerners attempting to spend Christmas with their families. Meanwhile, some families travel together during the holidays. This makes the world's largest annual migration known as the Spring Festival Travel Rush. The total trips made by plane, train, bus, and ship can reach nearly 3 billion. Dang. Wow. It's number 7, reunion. What is wrong with my face today? Reunion dinner is a ritual. The reunion dinner on Chinese New Year's Eve is a big feast to commemorate the past year. This is the most important time to be with families. After the reunion dinner, families sit together to watch the CCTV New Year's Gala while chatting. As the most watched TV program, the gala collects various well-selected performances targeting audiences of different generations. So it's all, okay. I mean, obviously, this is New Year. This is Lunar New Year, but it sounds very much like the traditional Western New Year. So, like January 1st, or New Year's Eve, I should say. But theirs happens on New Year's Day. So that's pretty cool. Number 8, then comes the annual largest usage of fireworks on the planet. Oh my God, I gotta see this. Fireworks are an indispensable part of the celebration to liven up the Arab Spring Festival. All families set off fireworks to celebrate the festival. The biggest fireworks show is on Lunar New Year's Eve. You gotta keep me away from fireworks because they scare me. I'm that person that does this, like, ooh, like let it go, throw it. Anyways, number 9, the celebration decorations are mostly in red. Houses are decorated with red spring festival couplets, red lanterns, and red paper cuttings. City streets are lit up by red lanterns, and numerous people are dressed in red. This is because red in Chinese culture is the symbol of happiness, wealth, and prosperity, and can ward off evil spirits and bring good luck. Dude, I love red, so I'm just gonna wear red forever. But these red decorations are to the festival what Christmas trees are to Christmas. Maybe that's why the Detroit Red Wings used to be so lucky, because they wear red all the time. They look like Santa sometimes in their full uniforms. Anyways, okay, number 10. Go Nian Hao is one of the most used greetings. This is like the Westerners saying Merry Christmas to each other on Christmas Day. It means Happy New Year. Why is the celebration also called Guo Nian? I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, I apologize. Nian is the Chinese word for year. In folk culture, the Spring Festival celebration is also called Guo Nian, meaning passing a year. In a Chinese New Year story, Nian is a fierce and cruel monster which eats livestock and kids. But it is scared of red color and cracker sounds. Therefore, people use red decorations and fireworks to drive away Nian. Wow! Can you imagine you're a kid and your parents play a trick on you? Hey, go stand outside, see what happens. Oh my God, no, not me. I'd be like, stay in the corner, put a little screen around them. Like, nope. So anyways, kids receive red envelopes, and I don't know if you've ever seen them, but if you are a patron of US Bank, as I am, because that's where I used to work, most banks will carry red envelopes, or you can buy them in stores. But I like the ones from our bank because they always had, I don't know if they still do it, but when I was still working there, they did. They would always have the animal year on there. So that's always pretty cool. So let's see. And then I would just keep one. I think I still have one in my wallet, to be honest with you. So everyone gets a year older. It is like a national birthday, and it doesn't matter when you were born. For kids, it means they are able to do more things on their own. So that's a fun one. That's pretty cool, I didn't know a lot of those things about Lunar New Year. It just felt like another reason to celebrate and eat. I mean, seriously, celebrate, eat, gather with your friends. I'm gathering with a friend tomorrow. Eat your noodles, okay? So if you like noodles, don't break them, but eat your noodles. It means prosperity, good luck, all those things. So again, we are in the year of the fire horse, all right? And the year of the fire horse brings with it its own things. So 2026 is the year of the fire horse, which combines independence and energy of the horse with intensity and creativity of the fire element. This year is expected to be filled with boldness, adventure, and ambition. Horses are amazing. Horses are amazing creatures. And yeah, I mean, they're so graceful. They're so beautiful. I mean, they're stubborn until they're broken, right? And I mean, what horse wants to be broken? But when they become your companion, they are fiercely loyal. They're just like big, big dogs and a cat rolled into one. Because, they do have their stubborn streaks. Of course, so do dogs. But as a zodiac sign, the horse is the 7th in the Chinese zodiac. They are known for being confident, energetic, and responsible. People born in the year of the horse are often seen as leaders who are decisive and enjoy physical and mental challenges. That's exciting. No, I'm really excited about the year of the horse. Not even my year. But anyways, you know, I asked if anyone could hear me. No one's responding. So I'm assuming you all can. But anyways, so again, happy Lunar New Year. Now, let's get into the solar eclipse. Apparently it's an annual solar eclipse, all right? But it's also a new moon. And you all know that the new moon, so when you have a full moon to a new moon, okay? So, you know, 2 weeks ago you had the full moon. Now today is a new moon, and it was waning, means it was disappearing into the dark moon. And that's where we're at now. We're in the new moon. So basically you will not really see anything in the sky. You might see a sliver now, or either tonight or tomorrow you'll start seeing a sliver, and then it will be what we call waxing, and waxing means it is getting bigger now. It is going to full illumination. So basically waning is turning the light off, waxing is slowly turning it back on. Like think of those dimmer switches, right? When you slowly turn it and then you slowly turn it back. So the thing about the full moon going into the new moon is that it's a time to let go. So, you know, every 2 weeks you have this opportunity to let go whatever it is that you've gathered and just say, I send you off with the full moon as it wanes. And then when the new moon comes along, it's like a wish moon in a way. This is when you set your intentions. Seriously. Sorry. I really think it's dry mouth. I did not drink enough water yesterday. I drank everything else, like coffee, iced tea, everything, but not enough water. But anyway, now's the time to set your intentions, your manifestations, your prayers. And remember, when you're setting these things, this or something better, even if you're praying, you know, dear God, dear, you know, whoever you turn your faith to, please bring me this, that, or the other, you know, or something, or what is meant for me. This or something better, okay? So you don't trip yourself up and freak yourself out and make yourself sad because it didn't happen the way you expected it to. That is life, kids. Life never happens the way you expect it to. So, I don't want to lose anyone here, but we are going to get a little metaphysical, okay? Because we are going into February's solar eclipse. And this eclipse today is apparently not subtle. It is in your face. So, I got this from Pisces Moon _crystals on IG. And again, the last thing I just read, the top 10 things about Lunar New Year or Chinese New Year, was on travelchinaguide.com. Now you're probably wondering, it's like, don't you know how to do your own stuff? Yeah, I do know how to do my own stuff, and I do know how to write my own things. But I like to share what other people have. It's like, why, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I'll just share it, and I'll share where I got it from. So again, and also these people, you know, when people's stuff helps me, I want to spread it around and I want to share it, but I'm not going to take the credit for myself. So I will always tell you where I got it from, because I think that's very important that they get the recognition, because, you know, that's what we're all here for, right? To help one another. So so again, Pisces Moon _crystals. Now this is actually sent to me from my friend Debbie Hall. And when I read this last night, I was like, wow, the fire horse is coming in like gangbusters. All right. So again, February solar eclipse on the 17th is not subtle. Solar eclipses act like cosmic reset points. When the sun, which rules identity, clarity, and direction, is temporarily blocked, old mental and energetic patterns get disrupted. New ones start forming whether we're ready or not. So ready or not, here it comes, okay? That's why eclipses bring plot twists, endings, sudden truths, and changes you can't undo. So my best advice for this, go with the flow. I know it's hard. I know it can be very, very trying and taxing on your nerves, but go with the flow. For all of you that used to be like me, you're recovering control freaks, just go with the flow. Let it go. Sing Elsa's favorite song, Let It Go. Okay, just let it go. Believe it or not, it's not as hard as it seems. However, when it can be difficult for a lot of us who are recovering control freaks. So anyways, and that's just because that's how we kept ourselves safe. So just let go. All right. Trust yourself to keep yourself safe.
Now, add in everything else moving right now. Major planetary shifts, karmic cycles, closing timelines, recalibrating, karmic cycles closing, timelines recalibrating. This eclipse isn't happening in isolation. It's amplifying all of it. What's unstable? Okay, seriously, I cannot read my own writing. Oh, what's unstable cracks. And what's aligned accelerates. Okay, I know I wrote this really fast this morning because I just saw it this morning. So again, it's amplifying all of it. What's unstable cracks, what's aligned accelerates. So what is not meant for you is going to fall away, and you just need to let it, all right? And what is aligned for you is going to start flowing. So you need to go with the flow. You need to allow yourself to just take your deep breaths, do the ha breathing, okay? 7 in, 7 hold, 7 out, 7 hold. And it doesn't have to be 7 seconds. You can just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then do it 6 more times, okay? There is a power in the number 7, especially in Hawaii. So there you go. Now, the overall theme for each sign, all right, the overall theme for each sign during this eclipse, and it's days going to the next one next year, the next annual solar eclipse. Do you ever wonder, this is how my brain works, do you ever wonder if when the sun is coming through going, excuse me, moon, I'm coming through, or party, or if I just have this vision of like the moon holding the door open for the sun, and it's just eclipsing, right? So anyways, that's my brain, that's my creative brain. So overall theme for each sign: Aries, initiation. So initiate. I know an Aries, and they are initiating their path, their spiritual path, and it's kind of fun to watch because I get to be a part of it, and it's so exciting. It's fun sharing this stuff with my family. But anyways, Taurus, release. Okay, I know a Taurus watching. So release. I have a third person on. It might be Cousin Jeannie, but I'm not 100% sure. But don't worry, I'm going to go through all these. So Taurus, release. All right. Gemini, truth. Cancer, protection. Leo, direction. I don't always think Leos struggle with direction. I think Leos struggle with direction not being noticed. They're not subtle. They need people to sit there and pay attention to them. So, and that's just how they're lions, right? And the lions in a pride, they don't do anything. They everybody else does it, or all the ladies do it. So, but it's about direction, right? So they're kind of a weird version of a pack leader, I guess. Anyways, I got some feelings about those things. Virgo, reorganization. So Virgos, reorganize. Libra, decision. And Virgos actually like to organize. They're like Tetris. They like everything. And I'm just going by all the different, I know somebody in each of these signs. All right. And I'm just going by, how I see them. And it's like, wow, you really are your sign. I sort of am. Libra, decision, make decisions. Scorpio, rebirth. My father is a Scorpio, and I'm really hoping that he is going to have a rebirth and remind himself who he is and what he's made of, because damn it, he is a fun guy when he's on his game. So Sagittarius, expansion. So my Saggies out there, it's time, expand. Whatever it is that you are thinking about doing, do it. Capricorn, authority. Yeah. I literally have a sign right here, and it says, get it, girl, but it also says the boss. So, but it's just my way of motivating myself. I also have a phone case that says bossy on it. But I admit, it used to offend me when people called me bossy, until one day I said, I'm not bossy, I'm a leader. Okay. And older sibling knows it herself. She sees it and she watches me. And we talked about this last week, right? Where lines just form behind me. And I don't know why, but they do.
you know, and nobody asks. I'm not saying like, you know, people say, oh, is the line behind you? And I say, yeah, get behind me. No, they just form behind me. But, you know, there is a certain authority that Capricorns have. We're just, you know, we sit back and we observe. And then when nobody does anything, it's like, fine. And then we get called bossy. Anyway, I wear it proudly. Aquarius, an awakening. This can be a huge thing for an Aquarian, okay? Oh yeah, I was saying, do I know any Aquarians? Sorry, Muddy. I was thinking of my mom and my ex-boyfriend. He was an Aquarian. But anyways, they both were barely Aquarians. But here you go, my Aquarians. My favorite Aquarian. Awakening. And Pisces, oh my God, I forgot to write down Pisces. I just wrote down what you're supposed to do. Surrender. Pisces, surrender. So whatever it is that you're fighting against, my dear Pisces, whatever it is that you are trying to move through, I'm not sure if I know any Pisces. Oh, my aunt's a Pisces. Yeah, she's going to be 80. Wow. I know, she's like a couple years younger than, or a couple months younger than my dad. But whatever it is you're fighting against, that you're saying, nope, can't do it, don't want to do it, it's not, no, because I'm afraid, I have fear, I have whatever, surrender to it, okay? Just surrender to it. There's nothing scary or wrong with it. Life happens, life rolls. If you don't take chances, you don't know what could happen. You know, you might be scaring yourself away from something absolutely amazing. So just, sorry guys, I'm all fidgety. But yeah, so Pisces, my Pisces out there, surrender, all right? So eclipses don't ask permission. Oh, all right, let's try that again. Seriously. Eclipses don't ask permission. They move you where you're meant to go, even if your ego would rather negotiate. There is no negotiating with your ego and the eclipse. The science calls it disruption and rewiring. The mystics call it fate. If you're feeling it in your body, your sleep, or your emotions, that's your nervous system processing change. The fire horse is here to guide you through this. All right? I don't think it's a mistake that the fire horse lands on a solar eclipse day. Now, for those of you saying, I thought it was just a horse here. I'm not sure how they decide what is, you know, one thing or the other, but it's basically the 4 elements, right? So there's fire, wood, which is earth, water, obviously water, and I think air. I have to double check on that, but I've only ever heard of, oh no, metal. It's metal. Because I remember seeing there's a wood rat, a metal rat, a fire rat, and a water rat. So there you go. But the water rat thing, even though it totally makes me think of the sewer, all things drain to the ocean, right? You know, so you could say we're all full of shit. But anyway, yeah, I still always think of Master Splinter. And Master Splinter was legit, man. He trained the Ninja Turtles. So anyways, you know what? There was one thing I meant to do and I forgot to do. Alexa, what zodiac sign is the new moon in today? I think it's Aquarian.
The new moon today is in Aquarius.
So kids, we got an added bonus because I just forgot about, oh look, it opened up almost to the page. Bring love into the situation. But for my Aquarians, because I know you're going to want to see this, we are going to look for, full moon in Taurus. So bear with me, my loves. Bear with me. New moon in Aries. Watch is probably the last card in the deck. Full moon in Aries. Disseminating moon. Let's try back here. New moon in Cancer. Full moon in Pisces. New moon in Sag. Void of course. Waxing moon. Oh, we could do waxing moon too, because we are going into a waxing moon. Balsamic moon, full moon in Scorpio, full moon in Capricorn. I love being a Capricorn. We're not, they don't paint us very prettily, but apparently there's two kinds of Capricorns. And I did not know this, and I fall into the second half. I'm not necessarily, there we go. I'm not necessarily an authority type. Like I said, it's like, when I sit there and watch, then I just get impatient, and it's like, you know what, I'll do it. Like, I'll just, you know, and then of course everybody wants, oh, I can do it. It's like, yeah, well, you had your chance. And people have heard me say that. It's like, you know what, you had your chance, and you just sat there and hemmed and hawed and twiddled your thumbs, and so I'm stepping in. So there's a minor authority in there. But my cousin, who's an Aries, somebody told her once that she's bossy. I'm like, she's not bossy. And he's like, yeah, she is. And I looked at my cousin and I said, the next time somebody calls you bossy, tell them what I tell them when they call me bossy. I'm not bossy, I'm a leader. That's right. And according to this fire horse, we are authoritative. Respect, oh, what is it? Cartman says, respect my authority. So, sorry, New Moon in Aquarius. Let's just get to it. All right. Bring love into the situation. That sounds like a totally Aquarian thing to say. If not a Pisces, they're pretty, they're zen. But, you know, if you go by the astrological path, Pisces is actually the last in the zodiac sign. So some people believe that you will come back for 12 cycles. You know, you'll start as an Aries and you'll finish up as a Pisces. And then if you want, you can keep coming back. So I don't know if I've ever done that. I'm pretty positive that, I mean, being a Capricorn is hard. But, because we're stubborn, but we're also the most insecure creatures on the planet. So anyways, bring never mind. Bring love into the situation. Aquarius is all about progress and modernity. I've never heard of that word before. So modern. Oh my God, this is one of those days. Anyways, Aquarius is all about progress and modernity. So this is the time to move forwards. Move forwards or move forward? Forwards? I don't know. I'm not going to question anything anymore. The new moon in Aquarius card means no looking back. Oh my God, that is so my mother. My mother's favorite saying was, don't look back, you're not going that way. She got it from a Reader's Digest when I was a little kid, and that became her saying until the end. I mean, my father was in the military, so my mom's buried in a military cemetery. But I'm telling you, if we could have put that on there, or if they would have put me in charge, my dad said, love is never having to say you're sorry, because that was their thing. That was my parents' thing. I guess they saw Love Story before I was born. Anyway, but yeah, that would have been what I put on there. You know, don't look back, you're not going that way. So change is on its way, and it could come quickly. Whether you get the change you want depends both on whether you believe you can have it and how much you're relying on others to bring it to you. This card comes with a suggestion that you may need to do things independently, on your own, but be loving, not too pragmatic. Time may be of the essence when this card comes up. Aquarius energy has an electric feel to it. Certainly, there is a sense that you need to let go of the past and move towards your future as soon as possible. Attune to the moon. Explore the idea that it's not what you know, but whom you know. Additional meanings for this card. You need to be more detached from this situation. Thinking outside the box will bring the solution. More pragmatism is called for. Improve your karma by doing some charitable work. And you know, charitable work it can mean a lot of different things. You can just volunteer your time. You can volunteer your time online. Maybe someone's struggling. You can just volunteer your shoulder and your ear. Okay, because sometimes just being there for somebody else can, you know, just make their day. So the teaching. Aquarius is the sign of invention, modern advances, and technology, and humanity. Its energy is a little brittle. It's individual, scientific even, and relatively emotionally detached. Many people think Aquarius is a water sign because the Aquarius symbol is the water bearer, but it's actually an air sign. Wow. And is far more about intellect than the emotional water signs. As is this card, no matter when you draw it, dropping your convention works well with this energy. Oh, that means a lot about my mom. My mom was very, like, I mean, nothing bad, but she wasn't, when it says they're not emotional, like, you know, you kind of sometimes had to really ask for a compliment. Because I asked her that one time and I said, you know, Dad always tells me that he's proud of me. He's this, and she just looks at me and says, well, I figured you already knew that. So I told her, sometimes it's nice to hear. You know? So when I finally had a voice and wasn't afraid of being in trouble. But you know what? I'm not going to lie. Sometimes my brain either shuts off or I'm a little ridiculous. So Alexa, what does pragmatic mean?
Pragmatic means practical and realistic, focusing on what actually works rather than just theories or ideals.
That makes sense why I don't know that word. I mean, I know the word. Thank you. I know the word, but I've never really used it, and now that makes sense. Well, anyway, you know, at least I can admit my shortcomings. So that's my word of the day, pragmatic. I'm going to look it up again because I literally just forgot what she said. And I'm going to use it today in a sentence. That's right. Whether it's, Alexa, what does pragmatic mean?
Pragmatic means practical and realistic, focusing on what works in real situations rather than just theories.
Okay, well, I'm going to be pragmatic about my day. I probably completely just misused that word. But you know what? It's okay, because I don't care. There was a time in my life when I would have, and now it's just kind of like, I don't need to know everything in the world. The energy is gaining momentum. The waxing moon. All right, hang in there, kids, because we're almost to Mardi Gras. Anyways, the energy is gaining momentum. During the waxing moon cycle, hope springs eternal. This card is a very positive omen, indicating that you can create the reality you're dreaming of, though it will take some work and you're not quite there yet. It's almost like saying, here, but wait. This is a time of energies rising up. Emotions are building too. Where do you want to go, and do you believe you can get there? Either you can just keep meditating and focusing on your desired outcome, or you can make the courageous commitment to take more practical steps towards your goals. You can be pragmatic. Whichever you decide, you are most certainly on the right track. So there you go. I used it. Attuned to the moon. I know I'm headed in the right direction. That's your mantra. I know I'm headed in the right direction. Additional meanings for this card. The situation is full of potential. Your dreams can't come true. More effort is yet required. Are you willing to give it? Review your goals and ensure you're still committed. Keep moving forwards. So I'm going to explain that in a second. The waxing cycle is the period of the lunar cycle from the new moon to the full moon. And during this time, the moon appears to be slightly bigger and rounder every night. This is a very empowered and empowering time, and this is a very promising card. It suggests now is the time to make plans and to act on them, no matter when you actually pull this card. So when it sat there and said, you know, oh God, what did it say? What is wrong with my brain today? It keeps moving on to the next thought. So when it says, so move forward, moving forward with as little resistance as possible. When we talk about, that's the waning moon. I was like, that didn't look familiar. Okay, more effort is yet required. Are you willing to give it? Now, some of you might be saying, well, wait a second, Shelly Marie. I keep putting in a lot of effort and I don't understand. But see, a lot of times we mistake the physical effort, the mental effort, but you may not have released other things. If you are, hanging on to control too tight, if you are hanging on to, being the authority too much, and you're coming up with all these different things, you need to learn to let go a little. You have got to let go of control. And you have just got to kind of let nature take its course. Maybe you took the classes. Maybe you put in the social media effort. Maybe you went out there and canvassed the neighborhood looking for, people to buy into this idea of yours. But here's the thing. You have to trust that this is your path. And you have to trust that you are on the right path. And you have to let go of control of what can go wrong. This is life. You're going to get thrown curveballs. You are going to have blocked kicks. Okay? You are going to have blocked shots. That's life. You can say, well, that went wrong. No, that was just something that happened to either test your mettle to see where you're at, or to say, you know what, maybe this isn't the right path for you if you can't handle this situation. It's how we approach things that makes the difference. And I think that's where really the Aquarian things come in, because, you know, they can be, you know, pragmatic. Because, I mean, even the card is saying, you know, don't be so pragmatic. But, you know, they can be very authoritative in their own ways. They can be very easygoing as well. And I think they're a huge example for this. You know, they trust themselves, they believe in themselves, and, you know, they just kind of show you the way. And that's kind of like, you know, if you feel like your nervous system has gone into fight or flight, right? Then you got to sit there and relax. Maybe do some meditation. Maybe focus on some Zen. All right. Maybe just, if that's not your thing, sit in a quiet room with music. Put on your favorite music until your mood swings back around. Because here's the thing. When you put out a certain type of energy, that's the energy you're going to bring back. So if you're putting out this energy like nothing good ever happens to me, nothing good is ever going to happen to you. Now, if you put out this energy saying, wow, you know what? I do believe that even though I'm stuck right now, good things will happen, and good things will happen. It doesn't mean that, you know, a rainbow's going to land on you and a leprechaun's going to hand you a pot of gold. No, what it means is that you are going to have clarity, you are going to have vision, and you are going to have a path that says, hey, this is where I need to go. Is it hard right now? Maybe, but this is another hurdle I know I can jump. And when you jump that hurdle, and, you know, even though the Aquarians say, don't look back, you can look back just to see how far you've come, but don't do it while you're jumping the hurdles, because that's when you fall. Just run your race. And when you're at what you feel like is one of your finish lines on your journey of life, look back and say, wow, I did that. I hurdled that. So don't give up on yourself. Keep moving forward. Put in the work. Like I said, the work isn't always about the physical aspect of it. The work is sometimes trusting yourself, learning how to trust yourself, learning how to let go of enough control that, you know, you're not choking the hell out of something and you're letting it grow. You know, I mean, if you're a person, if you're a horticulturist, right? That's the plant people, right? I think. But anyways, you're not going to buy a bunch of plants and not water them. Right? You're going to put in that effort. You're going to sit amongst them. Bestie was telling me that his neighbor upstairs likes to come down, because, I mean, his patio looks like a jungle, all right, and like a well-kept, beautiful jungle. And he says, yeah, we have a chair out there, and sometimes I'll see her out there taking selfies. She's like she's like 80, 81 or 82 or 80, but she's out there taking selfies and sending pictures back to the Philippines saying, yeah, this is my garden. And he just lets her, because he says she's just delightful. So anyways, speaking of my people, many of them just happen to be Roman Catholics, such as myself. I'm a non-practicing Catholic. But anyways, today is Mardi Gras. And in the wonderful world of Roman Catholics, and I'm sure other religions, I don't know how many other religions actually practice Ash Wednesday, but I found out it's not just Catholics. And I don't know if they do the whole ash thing. Catholics do, and the ashes generally come from the palms from the previous year's Palm Sunday. So there's your little tidbit that you may not have known. It's all the palms that do not get used and distributed to the congregation. So Mardi Gras was started. It actually started as a pagan ritual, but then, you know, as many pagan rituals do, they are overtaken by the church and kind of repurposed, right? It's like going into the goodwill of religions and repurposing things. So, and I'm not saying that religions are goodwill, you know, because, I mean, I love goodwill. All right. You know, other people's trash or other people's treasures. So, I even found a journal there once. That's right. And in fact, it was, my last Aloha Perspective book. So you never know what you're going to find. Oh, just realized I didn't have my other ring on. But anyways, so Mardi Gras translates in French to English as Fat Tuesday. And today is the day when you become the most gluttonous human on the planet. You eat until you basically pass out. You drink until you basically pass out. And that is because in the old days, in the old earlier days and of the, you know, maybe about 3, 4, 5 centuries ago, this started because starting tomorrow on Ash Wednesday, the minute you get those ashes on your head, you need to behave. You need to toe the line like straight and narrow. Now, a lot of people play with the line nowadays because, you know, obviously modern religion is a little bit less restrictive, but it used to mean back in the old days, and I mean centuries ago, and maybe even not the last century, but maybe even the 19th century. I'm not sure when it changed. It might have been the mid 20th century when it changed. But Fridays were actually, you fasted on Wednesday, on Ash Wednesday, and then you would fast every Friday, which, you know, leading up to Holy Thursday, which is the day I believe Jesus was arrested and tried, and Good Friday, which is the day Jesus was crucified. Then there's Holy Saturday, when he's in the tomb, and then of course you have Easter. So that's like a 4-day event. Now, obviously you cannot fast on those, you know, like every single one of those days. You're gonna pass out. But in the old days, you would start fasting, I believe, okay, if I'm making this up, I apologize, but this is what I kind of remember reading about over the years, is that I believe you would start fasting on sundown on Holy Thursday, and then you would fast through Friday, and then of course you would eat Saturday, and then Sunday you can go back to all your shenanigans again. One year I gave up swearing, and by the end of the first week I had already donated like $140 to the pet society. It was so hard. That's why sometimes my friends will hear me going Fraggles, or I'll just make up words so I don't swear. But it's also good, right? Because nobody really wants to be sworn at. I learned that yesterday. That's just my mouth. I am a sailor. But I know sailors better behaved with their mouths than me. But anyways, Mardi Gras is the last day before Lent when people indulge, most notably in the Roman Catholic tradition, before Ash Wednesday, which begins the journey of Jesus' 40 days and 40 nights into the desert. Now, I will tell you, when I wrote that down, I wrote dessert. I know it's one S, but clearly Fat Tuesday is in my brain because I was like, ooh, dessert. Oh, I should have done that. Anyways, sorry, it's like ADD day. Ash Wednesday marks a period of periodical fasting, sacrifice, no meat Fridays until Easter, which is technically about 47 days. So my mom would be, well, you're giving something up for 40 days. Well, as an adult, I looked it up and I'm like, no, dude, Jesus was in the desert for 40 days, but then he came back and it was a whole week of stuff before that. So it's almost 50 days that you're giving stuff up. Now, I'm going to tell you what Father said last year, because last year I actually did attend Ash Wednesday Mass in honor of my mother, and I went to my old school where I went to grade school from kindergarten to 8th grade. And he says, you can give up soda, you can give up, you know, cookies, you can give up fried foods. He's all, those are the easier things. He's all, but as Pope Francis said, do not give up indifference. Or no, give up indifference. Give up indifference. Get involved. Stop being indifferent to things that you think don't affect you. That was really good. I was sitting back there going, whoa, that's a good one. I'm sitting like, I know who Pope Francis was talking about. But anyways, but yeah, a lot of people tend to give up, like the sweets and the sodas and all that, and that's good and well, because I mean, if you have an addiction to soda like I used to, I was totally addicted to Coca-Cola. I have not touched one since 2010. And now I'm not saying I don't drink anything with bubbles, because I love Sprite and I have a recently adopted Dr. Pepper, but Coca-Cola is my slippery slope, and there's so much caffeine and sugar in it that my heart rebels. So if I want to stay alive to 103.5, I have to not drink it. But yeah, but it was hard because I did love it. One year I gave up chocolate, and my friend challenged me and says, well, that means you should give up all chocolate, including your coffees. Never did that again. But as I've gotten older, it it's not always about what you give up, but how you behave. And I started thinking, you know, I just need to try to be a better person. I need to try to give up control. I need to not get angry when things don't go my way, and try to remember what I say to everybody else. It's how we approach the situation that matters. And I think that's a lot of it. You know, let's not be indifferent. There's a lot of chaos and everything happening in this world right now. And as Fire Horse comes running through, as you know, this year, as the sun is eclipsing on the exact same day, and it's eclipsing a new moon, so basically it's the moon is dressed all in black saying, please go before me. It's still an eclipse of sorts. So, you know, and it's only, I think it said it was, it sounds like it's seen in the lower hemisphere, because I think they said South America, Africa, and some of the Indo-Pacific, I think it said, or Asian Pacific communities, which may be near the equator or below it. So yeah, so there you go. But yeah, so I'm not sure how you want to do that. I'm not sure if you're Catholic or not, but to all my Catholics, think about that. Think about what Pope Francis said. And I haven't heard what Pope Leo said today, but Pope Francis saying, you know, don't be indifferent to the world's troubles, I think is something that we could all do, that we could all keep our eye on, you know, take a good look at, and make sure that, you know, you don't have to become involved if you don't want to, but, you know, if you pray, pray. And I don't mean just say, oh yeah, dear God, please make it stop. No, just put some feeling into it. Just sit there and concentrate and meditate, manifest, you know, set your intentions, whatever it is. Let's bring this world back to a loving and kind place. Now, you know, you got a lot of people over here and you got a lot of people over here. And at some point we're going to all have to try to meet in the middle. But there's a lot of angry people over here because of the people over here. Wait, no, this is my left side, this is my right side. So there's a lot of people who are angry over here because of some of the actions of the people over here. But that doesn't mean when you hear a specific word that you should judge everybody. All right, so give up indifference, you know, and if you want to give up something else, give up something else. I should just give up control and just learn how to go with the flow, because that is hard for me. Like I said, I am a recovering control freak, and I never wanted to admit I was a control freak, because obviously it does not sound like the kindest thing in the world. It sounds pretty mean, right? But, you know, be the fire horse, you know, get in there and do the things. Do the things, you know, be a part of this world and make it a better place. All right. So, I thought we did pretty good today. We covered a lot. Yeah. So we went from Lunar New Year, you know, the 10 facts of Lunar New Year, to the fire horse, to the solar eclipse, to running through the new moon in Aquarius, running through the waxing moon, all the way to Lent. You know, it was my cousin Jeannie. I saw that. I saw your little profile thingy. Yay! So anyways, so yeah, we covered a lot of ground today, and I thank everybody who came on and who stayed this long. It was a lot. It literally was a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. And I think we can carry these things into our everyday. Even if I read, you know, oracle cards, that doesn't mean it's bad. What it means is it's giving you guidance. It is telling you, hey, let's be better people, you know. But first, sometimes we have to recognize our shortcomings. We have to recognize where we're, you know, falling short in life, and what, you know, some of our flaws might be. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with looking in the mirror and going, okay, maybe I should have handled that better yesterday. Maybe I should have done this differently. And you can. You learn from it. You take accountability for your actions, and you learn from it, and you move forward with that knowledge. But most importantly, as I said before, let's not be indifferent. Okay? Jesus would have wanted you to love your neighbor. Jesus would have wanted you to welcome the people that are different from you, that speak different languages from you, that dress differently than you, that, you know, worship, you know, a deity different than you. I know not all deities, not everybody worships God, okay? But let's be honest with that. There are a lot of religions out there that worship a lot of different things, but not everybody worships the same as you. And that's okay, because, you know, you can sit there and say, so, you know, what are your experiences like? You can, it's an opportunity to learn new things about different people, and to make people feel welcomed, and to make people feel like they belong. That's what Jesus would have wanted, whether you're religious or not. You know, whether you're religious or not, Jesus was still a man. Whether you believe he was a prophet, the chosen one, son of God, son of Mary and Joseph, whichever. Excuse me, whichever. The point is if you're going to read the Bible, you need to get to know Jesus better. Jesus was an all-encompassing human being. And like I said, whether you were religious or not, whether you were an atheist, an agnostic, or someone who does, you know, worship, it's not a bad thing to learn. It's not a bad teaching to remember. You don't have to worship the person or the man, but the actions, his actions speak louder than words. There was always kindness. And that's what this world needs right now. This world needs a healthy dose of love and kindness, a healthy dose of understanding, and a healthy dose of, you know, patience. So I know it's hard, but we can do this. All right. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Please, 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 please take care of yourselves. I'll see you back here tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, Facebook Live. All lives are public under Shelly Marie Lucas, and you can also catch me later on across the social media board. Everything starts at YouTube, so I will upload to YouTube, and actually I do upload to TikTok. As long as they're under an hour, I can, I know, right? Even, it's like a marathon. But, you know, I can upload to TikTok as well. So have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. To my ladies who popped on, thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy Lunar New Year. There's a saying in Hawaii. Is it gung ho fat choi or gung fat choi? I can't remember. But that's what the Chinese use in Hawaii, and it means Happy New Year. So happy Lunar New Year to all of you. Go out there, celebrate the year of the horse, whether it's your year or not. Enjoy it, all right? And have a great day.